When I go live off my production schedule, um, when I go live off my production schedule, it's normally because I'm helping someone, and so I want you guys to know that helping people is my passion. Uh, I can remember, I can remember talking to my mom not too long ago, and she brought up a really nice memory that I don't remember. Does anybody ever do that to you? She brought up a nice memory that I just don't remember. All right. Sorry about that. Let me get this together for you guys. All right. She brought up a memory about me and my brother. And so in my family, all the kids, it went, my dad had a daughter, Michelle, may she rest in peace. And then he met and married my mom. And then they had a daughter, my older sister, Maisha. Then they had me. Then they had my little sister, Anika. So for a while, I was, the only, right? I was the only son. And that was cool. That was all right. Um, Shout out to my LinkedIn people, um, and all that, for joining me over on LinkedIn. Shout out to everybody, Kenzel, Miss Renee, Laquetta, Edward. Shout out to everybody over there for joining. FX, Regina. Shout out to everybody that's joining me over on TikTok. My Facebook family as well. My first step coaching, my first stepper. Shout out to you guys this morning. This is your morning Sharecropper report, but this morning I'm doing something a little different. I'm taking you guys down memory lane for Taibu Moore Deep. So my mom, she hit me with a memory that I don't remember. Okay. Excuse me for 1 second. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you run a business from home. Right. Want to thank Chocolate, my dog, for doing her due diligence, keeping folks at the front door. What a day. All right. Let's get back to the memory, right? So memory lane, down memory lane. So, and I'm going somewhere with this, everybody. So my mom hit me with a memory that I don't remember. And so she said, when we came home with the Lafia, the brother that's right behind my little sister, right? She said the first thing I said to her was, when can I play with them? Right? When can I play with my little brother? And because my father left the home when I was 10, I kind of had to fill that role for my little brothers. He had 3 more boys with my mom after me: Alafia, Nebuchadnezzar, and Joshua. So for as long as I can remember, it was just me and my brothers. And I'm giving you guys this background story to understand my passion for helping people, right? And when it started. Uh Short story on top of that is, there was already two young women in the home. My sister was a teen when my dad left. My other sister, she was, you know, uh, like 2 years behind me. So it was my mom. I was identifying after my dad left with the women in the house. And when my mom wasn't home, which happened a lot after my dad left, my older sister was in charge. But I remember vividly that our godparents, the Resnicks, shout out to Dan and Lauren and their awesome sons, the Resnicks, they would send us money on certain days. And I remember the money coming in. I remember mom going to mail, getting these checks on, it was Christmas time coming up. And I remember vividly, and you guys can all understand this. I remembered vividly my mom and my sisters walking in the door, carrying bags from the mall and laughing and giggling like there was no problems in the world. And I said, Mom, when are you going to take the boys shopping? She said, oh, yeah, I'll take you guys shopping. A couple of days later, nothing happened. Now, if you know my mom, ain't no real talking back to her or you couldn't, as a child, you couldn't check your parent. Back in the day, you couldn't check your parents. You know what I'm saying? What am I going to say to my mom? Mom, didn't you tell me? Right? There was none of that. All I can remember thinking, everybody, was it's just me looking out for my brothers. That no one was going to do it, so I had to. Daggone. Whatever my brothers were going to get, they were going to get it from me. And so when I bring up the subject of the origins of welfare and what it did to homes like mine, I want you to understand when I say that I have the lived experience to help many of you come out of whatever you're in right now, I do. I was always put in a leadership position. I had to manage my own time for me and my time to give back to others. I can't tell you the countless amount of times that I put all my siblings into my car and took them to go visit my little sister, my sister Monique. It was how many times I put my brothers in the car and drove them around and talked to them. It's tough being a big brother, a good big brother, an efficient and a great leader if you didn't have one. Did the best I could. Out of my, as you want to say, full blood brothers, mom and dad, same blood brothers, the one that's passed away, may he rest in peace, is the one I was closest to. But that was just by numbers. When we were kids, it was like the oldest three and the youngest three. So we always were paired up. You know what I mean? Passed away unexpectedly. Very young. The other two brothers want nothing to do with me. And do you guys want to know why they want nothing to do with me? Because I changed my life. I don't fit the same image they had of me growing up. I don't fit the image they had of me of the black sheep of the family. It's not, they have to look at themselves now because they have yet to break out of their shell. They have yet to draw a line, take themselves to war, and live a beautiful life the way that I am. The brother that I asked my mom to play with, he's a grown man, he's a lawyer. And for years, oh, you go to jail. You're nothing because you go to jail. I'm nothing because I go to jail. But whenever he really needed somebody, I was always there for him. Always there for him, without question. Without question. I stopped going to jail. I broke that cycle. And y'all are going to get the book. It will come out. I broke that cycle. It was tough. It was difficult. I took myself to war and I won. And I won. So I don't go to jail anymore. After 30 years of recidivism, it's done. So guess who goes to jail? He does. Right? He goes to jail. And now he wants nothing to do with me. He cannot, he's cut off this pipeline. The same woman he got into it with, his ex-wife now, I guess, and went to jail over. I was the one that helped the relationship be solid from the door. When he was first going through problems with her, I took them to church. They got married, had kids. He finished his law degree, was successful. But he never worked on him. I know my little brother. I know this. And I want to coach him, right? I want him to download the EFC workbook and begin pointing the thumb so we can make that final change. I want him to draw a line and take himself to war. He did so great for so long. But every time he leaves the structure of someone like me, like his pastor in South Dakota, every time he leaves the structure of someone like me on his own, the old him, the Confederate part of him, the part that wants to stay the same, takes over. Y'all know where I'm going with this. As much as it pains me, he won't reach out to me. I say, Mom, call him and tell him I'm not going to judge him. I'm not going to point his finger in his face. Oh, I told you so. You're just like me. I'm not going to judge him. He needs my help. He needs to hear from me. I'm the voice of, I'm the one he always came to before. Why would he not come to me now? My brother was telling people behind my back that he wishes I was in jail, that he's happier when I'm in jail. I knew this. And when he needed me, I still went every time. I know he needs me now. I know this is getting personal. The book's going to come out, y'all going to get anyway. I'm just saying, I know he needs me now. I can't reach him. That's you. That's you. That's you. I would tell him the same thing I tell you guys. You need manpower and resources. And today, this Sharecropper report today, I'm talking about the fact that you don't have the resources to add the manpower because you're sharecropping. Or you refuse to do it because you have a sharecropper mindset. I helped thousands of people over the last 20 years get in shape physically, mentally, and emotionally. Easily thousands. From the inception of Heavenly Bodies till now. But the only ones that actually got results and kept them were the ones who didn't let money become a problem, who didn't let the resources stop. They didn't stop putting resources into their goal. Not because they particularly had them, but because they weren't going to let that stand in the way of them reaching that goal. My brother was the kind of person who would invite me out. I know it's getting personal, but I'm going somewhere. My brother would invite me out because no one else would hang with him, everybody. And I'm like, bro, I don't have money to go to the comedy club and drink like you. Like, bro, you doing it. You married, y'all getting money. I got these kids to take care of. I can't do it. He was like, no, bro, I got, don't worry about it. That's what he would tell me. I'm like, well, shoot. All right. Let's do it when you want to do it. That was the arrangement. But he told our father later, I was out here hurting, I was broke, and he had to look out for me. He upped his, he had to look out for me. I was forcing myself in his little forays, and I couldn't pay for anything. This is how he characterized me to our father. I found this out later. And my brother, I'm telling you, lucked up and married a beautiful lady. I was shocked when he brought her around. I was like, what? Why we get married? When I saw how beautiful it was, I was like, I had a new level of respect for him, right? I was like, man. But the ugliness within him overtook that marriage, and he lost her forever. I can only imagine the trauma he put her through for 5 years to get her citizenship. I'm talking about she didn't wait one more day. That 366 days, soon them 5 years passed, she filed for divorce and was out of there. And now, once again, he has a failed relationship, a failed marriage, because he refuses to point the thumb. Many of you can relate to being that kind of person. Don't blame it on the circumstances, people. The EFC workbook, effort, focus, and commitment, it forces you to point the thumb. There's no way around it. My little brother just never put more effort into working on himself. It's all he needed to do at some point in time. So it's tough for me as a father figure, as someone that cares deeply about him being successful and living his best life. It's tough that I can't reach him. I was texting folks yesterday in my coaching community, hey, here's a free tip for the day. Thanks for being active in my coaching community. Stop texting me. Are you not so-and-so or such and such? No, that's not me. Maybe you should reach out to that person and tell them to stop using your phone number. You know what I'm saying? Well, here, just from our back and forth, I can tell you're going through some stuff. Here's the EFC workbook. I'm telling you right now, why are you guys fighting me to help you? You're like my little brother. The whole world can see you need help. I was just there 7 years ago, the whole world. And for 30 years, the whole world, all my best friends and my family members, they could see that I needed help, but I refused it because I wasn't willing to consider that I was the problem. And I didn't see the system of sharecropping I was raised in, didn't understand how it affected my mindset. Was I raised on welfare? Yes. Did I know at the time? No. What did a kid know about welfare? When I was told that food stamps, I didn't know it was a part of welfare. Had no idea. I knew I was poor. I knew I didn't have as much other kids had. That was clearly obvious. But did I know we were on welfare? No. Did not know that. It's like if my dad was working a legitimate job, never did when I was growing up, but if he was working a legitimate job and used our address, he would have had to move or take care of my mom and the 6 kids he made with her on that his money. I didn't know these things. Let me get you guys fired up. I want to give you that personal to let you know I've always been a leader. I've always been passionate about helping people. It was started very, very young. I care deeply about your success. I care deeply about you guys rising up, changing, making that lifestyle change. It's not going to be easy. So many of you are steeped in so much trauma throughout your whole entire life. It's not easy to point the thumb at yourself, to call yourself the perpetrator of your own demise. You are literally trapped in a prison of your own poor decision making. Let me get you guys fired up with this morning's motivational moment. Let's go.
What do you do when you tried and failed and you want to quit and you want to give up?
I don't know what that dream is that you have. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. But that dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible.
Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone.
And I'll leave it right there. Take yourself out your comfort zone. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. I record from my LinkedIn page. I can't go live yet. Once I get them 1,000 connections over there, because I got them on TikTok, I can go live and help some people on LinkedIn. All those professionals that aren't taking care of their body or have so much stress in their life that they need a life coach like myself, certified goal achievement coach, to help them out of that situation. I do that for them over there. Then I go live on my other platforms to make sure that they have something in the morning. All right. Go live over here. Get this done. All right. Going live over here on Instagram to give them something. This might be a little longer. I'm making up because I didn't give you guys the 8:05 a.m. start time. So I apologize for that. But when you guys don't see me or when I'm off my production schedule, I'm helping someone. Okay. So just know that. If I set up a call with you and I'm a little bit behind, I'm helping someone. So give me some grace. All right. Shout out to everybody, my coach Taibu page, Taibu Muad'Dib, this morning's Sharecrop report. I'm bringing to you guys the origins of welfare. All right. The origins of welfare should be right up here on my screen. Let me see. The origins of welfare. Okay. Bam. There we go. Social welfare. It has a stigma attached to it. Hot lunch at school, needing to have that ticket. Everybody knows who you are. Right? If you were on welfare, everybody knew who you was. As a kid, I was never ashamed to go buy some food with food stamps because we needed food. I had seen some hungry days. Them food stamps was a blessing. So that's what it is. On March 3rd of 1865, Congress passed an act to establish a bureau for the relief of freedmen and refugees to provide food, shelter, clothing, and medical services, and land to displaced Southerners, including newly freed Africans. All right. Woo. I go down a little bit further, and the questions asked, what was the main purpose of the Freedmen's Bureau? But more appropriately to this morning's study, was the Freedmen's Bureau the first social welfare program? And it tells us, Oliver O. Howard, the Freedmen's Bureau might be termed the first federal welfare agency. The first federal welfare agency. So when welfare started, it was almost absolutely necessary. When it started, that was in 1865. Now, over 100 years later, in 1985, What was the need for it then? Why were so many African people still not owning land? Why were so many African people still in need of food, clothing, and medical assistance? Why? See, this system of sharecropping has kept generations of particular culture down in their minds, in the way they live. Why was it necessary over 100 years later? Back then, we were just freed off the plantation. Yeah, we needed something. Thanks, Uncle Sam. But in 1985, when I was 10 years old, what was the need for it then? Help me out, everybody. I really want to know. Get in the comment section. Let me know, what was the need over 100 years later for social welfare? I'm not pointing a finger at the government, everybody. I'm not. Okay? Not at all. I'm pointing the thumb at us. You know, Booker T. Washington came along, and a lot of people said what they said about his programs. But hey, work and learn. Work and learn, people. You're a tenant. I'm breaking this down. Sharecropping is a system by which you, the tenant, pay a landowner to exist on their land. I broke down how many things you pay just to exist there properly. It's not just you're paying rent. You have to pay light, gas, right? Renter's insurance in Texas. That was Fort Worth. Renter's insurance. I mean, you have to pay at least. Let's keep it real. You pay at least 4 different owners. The people that own the light company, the gas company, the heat company, the people that own the water, the garbage pickup, you pay 4 or 5 different owners to exist, for your shelter to be proper. That has nothing to do with the owners you pay for the clothes you wear and for the food you buy. So if you don't have your own small business, you are completely owned. That's the bottom of sharecropping. Your entire life, you'll be fighting like heck, fighting to see a better day. The origins of welfare, the Freedmen's Bureau. All right. So let me continue. Let me stop the share right now. Let's look at something equally as damaging. Let's look at the origins of predatory lending. And I want you guys to understand how important it is to know the origins of these things. I'm just typing in sharecroppers and predatory lending so you can understand, right? I'm a screen share this for you. If you want the full episode with all the effects, picture in picture, so you can get understanding, please go and subscribe at Taibu Muad'Dib on YouTube at Taibu Muad'Dib 4019. You got to do it. You got to see this. I'm putting this up here for you. When you guys wonder the cost of me running my business, some of it is paying the $20 here to have Zooms and webinars on Wednesday nights. The $20 here, the $30 here to have StreamYard. It adds up. Running ads on Facebook. Having my own coach and mentor continue to progress me. So my overhead, even running my business out of my home, hey, but this is what it takes. I'm teaching you guys what I'm doing. This is what it takes to be successful. All right. To stop sharecropping. It says, I just typed in Microsoft Bing search, sharecroppers and predatory lending. It says sharecropping is a system of agriculture in which a landowner allows a tenant to use the land in return for a share of the crop produced on the land. So your crop that you produce on your apartment is whatever you make at your job. I don't care what the job is or how nice the apartment is. If you are leasing as a tenant, you are sharecropping. You're sharecropping. This system was closely associated with the new system of what? Credit. It was called the crop lien. The crop lien, which became a form of predatory lending. Boom. And to this day, it's legal to this day. You can borrow $250 and have to pay $1,200 back on it. And you don't care because that $250 is going to keep you in your home or put food on your bellies until your next paycheck. So you pay $138 for the next 12 months off $250. You pay back $1,200. You buy a vehicle at 1,000% interest markup. I have to this day, I have a number in my phone called 100% approval, a place you can go buy a car. You don't even need a license, just an ID and $1,000, and they'll put you in something. But the markup, I mean, you pay $7,000 on a car that's worth maybe $1,700. And if many of you know me, if you're watching from Madison, Wisconsin, you know me back in the day, I had a Buick. It was nice. It rolled really, really nice. That car was worth $1,700. They charged me $4,000 with $2,000 interest for it. And they tried to take me to court after I'd paid like $3,700. They tried to take me to court when the car went down. They wouldn't fix it. They tried to take me to court for the other $3,000. I wrote to court and I said, man, look at this document here. They sold the car for less than the blue book value of when I bought it. They knew the car was only worth $1,700 when I bought it. They charged me 4 G's plus 2 G's interest. I did the best I could. If they fixed it, what you're supposed to do, I'll keep driving and keep paying. If I'm not driving the car, why would I pay for it? I already paid twice what it was worth. They actually tried to garnish my wages. I'm telling you, predatory lending. I was in that system, people. I'm telling you right now. I'm not making this up. I didn't know any better because I didn't understand the process of sharecropping. I didn't understand the origins of welfare. I didn't understand predatory lending. Under this system of predatory lending, a planter or merchant extended a line of credit to the sharecropper while taking the year's crop as collateral. So they take your whole crop yield, and that way you can draw food and supplies the rest of the year. In the 1960s, many African families had difficulty securing bank loans. Banks were openly discriminating against African businessmen and women. Today, banks use similar discriminatory practices to prevent Africans from securing loans for homes and businesses. I'll stop sharing. Because this is not a podcast for social justice reform. I'm telling you that in spite of all the discrimination still happening, you can bust out of a sharecropper mindset and way of living forever. What's it take, Taibu? Effort, focus, and commitment. Effort, focus, and commitment. Giving you guys all I got today. Y'all like, boy, Taibu's on fire today. Yes, I am. I am on fire today. To watch the full episode, man, with the screen share so that you can learn what I'm putting down, go over there and get right. I just got paused due to a poor connection. Let me go ahead and stop this real quick. Ending that now. And I go through this process a couple of times throughout my show just because this is where it's at. All right, bam. Okay. If you're ready for a one-on-one coaching experience with Taibu Muad'Dib, all you have to do is go to Calendly.com/Coach Taibu. I'll get that in there for you guys. Bam. All right. This podcast is being brought to you courtesy of First Step Coaching. Now, you can look up First Step Coaching on Facebook and follow the platform. This is exclusively where you'll see the Sharecropper Report podcast and my YouTube page, just those two places. So if you're wanting more, also, I will coach and mentor you guys for free online on a podcast. That's something I'm going to always do. If you want to come on the podcast and just have a free consultation, see how I work, that'd be great. We'll bring you on here. You can talk about your situation a little bit. It worked really, really well with a guest. I had one guest come on here and she freaked out on me. You can't help me. I'm not hurting. You don't know what I need. But then she called me afterward like, man, that was great. You know, she didn't know. Because then when she started getting all wild, I fell back. I was like, because I'm a licensed professional, I was telling y'all that the reason you get a license or a certification to do something is you can help folks that's not like you. And she didn't realize that. She thought I was just a big buff guy online, giving advice. So when I handled her and managed her, she was like, yeah, I can work with you. We never start anything up, but I'm always going to reach out to her and let her know that I got her back. And whenever she's ready to start, I'll look out for her, get her on the program, we can get going. But I can definitely repost that podcast so you can see it's really, really tough to get around the thumb pointing. And she didn't want to do it online. She didn't want to do it on the live podcast. That's where that's where a lot of people, many of you are gonna many of you are going to have that same issue. Many of you are going to give me kickback when it comes time to point the thumb at yourself. And I understand that. I went through it for 30 years. You don't know how many people try to tell me, stop what you're doing. And I didn't. And I kept messing up opportunities that I had made for myself. And so I want you guys to know I'm going to get over here and we'll get right. Let me get you guys the information that you need real quick. That's what I want to do. Let me put this in here. Bam. All right. A little bit difficult to use my thumb. I'm the thumb man over here. Bam. All right. Let's go. I want to get that for you guys. Pin that comment up there. If you're ready for the full one-on-one coaching experience, I'll get that up there for you as well. Just put a couple of comments in here for you guys so you guys know where to go and know how to get that done. Bam. Oops. Well, I'll go ahead. I'll make sure I put that in the description. Go over to Calendly.com/Coach Taibu to get that one-on-one coaching experience going. All right. Over here at Taibu 2 Rise, we're discussing the morning sharecropper report. Got that good coffee, keeping it going. We discussed the origins of welfare in the Freedmen's Bureau, predatory lending, the system of sharecropping, the mindset that you have, and you don't realize generations ago, this was put in place and still to this day. with I mean, there's really no reason for it to still be happening on the mass scale it is, except for that people aren't really attacking the system, right? And so tomorrow I'll finish off the week. The black codes are now poor codes. So you don't have to look like me or have dark skin or be a melanated person. You don't have to be a person of color now. Just be poor, and these codes now are applicable to you. The black codes were a legal system in many states where you could be openly discriminated against in many different ways. Now they're the poor codes. So black and poor these days are synonymous. That's why understanding sharecropping is so important. So important. Many of you out there believe because you look a certain way or because you come from a certain family that you're not set in this system. It's not keeping you down. It's not going to drag you into debt. It happens so easy, especially for those of you who want to keep up with the Joneses. All right. It happened very easily. Man, that was cold. I did that cold. So you got the personal background story. Me and my brother, my family dynamics in that level. The fact that he fell down and is failing to reach out to me for the advice he usually had always come for out of shame. Don't be so ashamed of a mistake that you make that you don't go get the help you need correcting your behavior. That was a mature mouthful. I understand that. Only for you mature folks. If that sounded harsh to you, you automatically qualify for my coaching program. Please go to calendly.com/Coach Taibu and get on my calendar. And the end result of all of this should be most of you downloading the EFC workbook. It'll be in the description. Everything that I post over on TikTokers, if you see me post something, look in that description, click on that link, download that EFC workbook, and begin putting more effort, focus, and commitment into your goal, into getting out of the sharecropping mindset and busting through that system. If you don't own anything, nothing, look, file for LLC. That's $150 in most states. File for LLC. Begin a connection and having a relationship with profit. You don't want to be working for wages and paying landowners your whole life and pass that mentality to your kids. You don't want to even have a salary. Oh, it sounds great. $67,000 a year. That sounds great. It's not. Sharecropping. You want to make your money off of profits. That's what owners do. That's what bosses do. So begin that relationship today. If you're gonna buy yourself something for Christmas, buy a brand new LLC with a federal EIN number, and then call me. We'll set you up with a platform. We'll build you a business of some kind, get you a franchise. We'll get you moving. All right. Taibu Muad'Dib, I appreciate you guys this morning. Let me go ahead and stop the screen share. I'm gonna climb over. I'm gonna give you a little bit more so I can climb over here to my Facebook page, Taibu Muad'Dib, and get that going. Everybody that jumps in over here on TikTok, I appreciate you guys for supporting the platform. All of your likes and your shares, I appreciate that. I want you to know that we are going somewhere. We are going somewhere. 2024 is your year. I want you to know that 2024 is your year. When I inbox you, hey, sending a warm welcome to my page and platform. You know, I want you to be like, hey, Coach Taibu. Yeah, man, let's go. I want you guys fired up. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm giving you guys layers of credibility. But like I said, I challenge you guys. You can go on my page and look at how I was living 5 years ago, 3 years ago, and see me now. Look at what I was talking about, what I was saying, the value that I was giving back then. All right. Got the folks over here, man. Got them going strong. I'm going to go screen share what it looks like to help you guys out, because I know y'all going to go ahead and follow me on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share this for you guys so you can see it. This is what it looks like. The EFC workbook, right? Download your EFC workbook now. Taibu, why would we do that? Why would we download the workbook? Yeah. All right. So, short story. If you go on Amazon and get the book African Messiah versus Government Scum, them, right? You'll meet a guy named Smooth. That was his nickname in the joint. The brother had been down for 25 years when I met him. Hadn't been free in 25 years. I had a couple of months left to do, and I was in a bathroom-sized cell with a bunk bed with a guy that had been down 25 years. And in most prison systems, if you exhibit good behavior, they'll drop you down a security rating. So you go from maximum security to medium security, minimum, stuff like that. Then they phase you back into society. Short story. I was in there on a domestic case that I was a victim of, but the prosecution entered false evidence to get me convicted as the perpetrator. But Smooth wanted to help out. And he said, Taibu, that's what he said. With women, it's always about gain. And I kid you not, like it was like a movie where there's that tunnel, that memory tunnel. And it seemed like in the next 10 seconds, I could look at every argument or problem I ever had with a woman in the past. Like that, like in an instant. And I realized it was on me. Because after that 10 seconds passed of memory lane searching, I thought to myself, man, but this is just my generation. I thought to myself, man, I don't believe there's a woman out there that has more game than me. But with him just saying that, it was his way of saying, man, you know, they outgamed you. If you're in here and they're not, look all the talent you got, brother. You got stuff online. I have my people on the streets look you up. You got books online. He's like, man, if you're in here, they outgaming you, bro. You might not think it, you might not want to believe it, but they got more game than you. I highlighted Smooth's situation in my book because the state of Wisconsin changed their laws, and that kept thousands of inmates locked up longer than they should have been under their old law. The old law had a parole system. When the new law came, they switched the paperwork up, and guys like Smooth are now being held to new law specifications. So basically, the state, in changing the laws, went back on their legal word. You can see that in the book. The state of Wisconsin right now has men and women locked up, and they shouldn't be there because they changed their laws, and they know that the general public don't care about inmates because they're bad people. They shouldn't did what they did. Look at the calculation. Smooth should have been out 7 years ago, at least. So I appreciate Smooth, man, and everything that he did by just that one nugget, that one moment when he kept it real. I mean, when in prison, you look at a guy and he's been down that long, he's heard it all. He's heard it all. Wasn't no way around it. Appreciate that, brother, for giving me that bit of advice. So I put more effort when I got out into vetting women that I date. I had to put together a strategy, a winning strategy. Like, okay, when I get into a relationship, how am I going to win? How am I going to make sure it's successful? What do I have to do on my end? Everybody wants to point their finger. Nobody wants to play their own part. The workbook on this screen right now, though, the EFC workbook, it will literally overnight change your relationship if you just do the workbook. You download it right now and start going through it and apply it to your life. It's going to overnight change your relationship, because I guarantee 87.9% of you are the problem in your relationship, but you've been pointing the finger at them the whole time. 87.9% of you are the reason that you're broke and you're struggling right now, but you're pointing the finger at your family, how you were raised, the government, or your job the whole time. I look good in this coat. Woo! Muad'Dib Global right here. It's my vision. It's my legacy. I have an international client. She's been a member of my program for a long time. I'm going to bring that case study out in January so you guys can understand the relationship I have with just one out of the hundreds and thousands of people that I've helped improve their life. Just one individual, it meant so much to them that she has been a member of my coaching program ever since I started. I'm literally like a coach on retainer. Like, she just keeps me in the game so she can reach out to me. And it's awesome situation. So shout out to Peter and Vanessa out there in Warsaw, Poland, their family in Frankfurt, Germany. I will get there. Invited to an international wedding. This type of stuff doesn't happen. That's why I'm going to give you guys the book and the case study. This type of stuff doesn't happen. When you really change and start putting these types of things into the universe, that's when you really, I'm talking about, it's crazy. Can't make it up. Because through the change in me, I'm now seeing the change me through the eyes of others. And it's awesome. It's awesome. It's a beautiful thing. Now, I'll be the first person to tell you, everybody don't like Taibu. Everybody don't like me. That's okay. That's okay. Because I don't like y'all neither. I don't like you. I love you. And I want to upgrade you. I want to upgrade you. I love people and help people so much that I know that by continuing to shine brightly from within, that I'm helping that hater. I'm helping them. Because they think less of me. They look down on me like I'm nothing. So as I continue to succeed in life, they have to recalibrate their thinking. Like, hold on. If Taibu is stupid, dumb, former, returning prisoner, whatever, if he's nothing and he's helping people, his business is doing so well, he's all over social media helping people, doing things, motivating folks, maybe I can do it too. When he stopped sharecropping and became an owner, you know what I'm saying? This is so by me continuing to shine from within, the new change me, the new conscious me, by me continuing to shine, every hater that I experience along the way up to the top of the mountain, I'm blessing their life because they have to consider themselves. Man, what was going on? How come I didn't like that guy? What was going on? They have to consider that. As I hang with more and more quality people, develop quality relationships, this stuff doesn't happen to guys like me. And I want to share that with you. It's special. The EFC workbook. You got to download it. It'll make a difference overnight. It'll make a difference. I guarantee you. I'm going to close out by saying, hey, look, I'm going to close out by letting you know right now. I stepped outside the jailhouse after 3 years for a crime I didn't commit. 2 days later, I couldn't even remember why I was getting locked up in the first place. I was like, what was going on with me? For real, I couldn't connect with that old person. When that EFC, and when my coach challenged me, he said, man, what can you give to the world? I said, I'm going to give him this EFC. Because a lot of people, they're just not willing to point the thumb. But if I can get them to point the thumb, I can get them to put more effort, focus, and commitment into their goals. And I know that they'll achieve them. I know that they'll win. This has been your morning Sharecrop report. I gave you guys a full hour because I was a couple hours late getting online. When you don't see me online, keeping my production schedule, it means I'm helping somebody. So for the folks I was able to help this morning, you guys get on your activities, get to work. I'll see you in class. To all of you who don't have a relationship yet with Coach Taibu, look, inbox me, DM me, download the workbook, copy and paste the link in the description, get that thing done. Your New Year's resolution should be to download this EFC workbook, point the thumb, and see what it can do for you. That's the show this morning. Let's go. I'm out of here. See y'all tonight. But live your truth. All right. Give you guys something extra every time, man. Give you guys something extra. I appreciate you guys. I want you to know that I mean that. That I mean that. I mean what I say what I mean. I want to meet your goal. That's why I keep it simple. My calendar, it should be full for weeks because I don't have much space on there. Folks got to want it. That's all it says right here. Taibu wants to meet your goal. That's it. That's it. I'm not focused on you, your pockets, your past. I want to meet your goal. I'm excited to speak with you personally. I want to learn about you, your situation. All right. Tell me about your problem. Okay. Download the workbook. Get on my calendar. Let's have a conversation about what effort, focus, and commitment can do to your life. That's the tip for today. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. All right? Keep it simple. Happy holidays to all of you guys. I'll close out the week. Tonight, we have What's at Stake on Live Your Truth. Tomorrow morning, we're talking about the black codes now being the poor codes. And we'll finish up tomorrow night. But this is your war. This is your war. Taibu Muad'Dib, all I do is motivate. Hashtag that whenever you get done. Let's go.